another day and another video of Bryce driving down the road. It seems to be the thing about COVID, right? Everybody talks about stay-at-home orders, social distancing, all this good stuff. To Bryce, that means do what you prefer to do, which is go hang out by yourself in remote locations where no other people are. Sweet! Anyway, I don't know if this video will make it to editing, but we will see. I still have a couple of them backed up. I can't seem to quit wandering long enough to actually process video. So it is raining, a little dreary out, but that's okay, because I think I am going to wander my butt back up on somewhere around Stevens Pass again. Do a little bit of fishing, a little bit of four-wheeling, and a little bit of working from the front seat of the Jeep. So, should be nice. It's just me. As you can see, the Jeep's all nice and emptied out. Probably see my bedroll rolled up behind me. Little random point, you notice that blanket that's got my whole bedroll rolling it together? That's a blanket Mom and Dad gave me. Oh my goodness, right after I bought the Explorer. It was the back seat cover in the Explorer for like however long I had that, like 17 or 18 years. So yeah, still getting used out of that blanket. It's a damn good camping blanket. Anyway, we'll get rolling. I'll probably roll some video clip here so you can kind of see where I'm driving, but it's nothing new, just shows you the weather and the joys of people. So with that being said, let's flip the camera around and I will talk at you when we get somewhere better looking. Well, now we're starting to get somewhere, but as you can see by my sky, it's gonna be a fun one. Oddly enough, it seems to be we punched through the worst of the weather and found this weird little spot in the middle where it's not raining, but it is definitely heavily cloud covered. So, I guess we will see. Hopefully it turns out to be an alright couple of days. Bryceley's mobile office, wherever the river finds me. There we go. That should make for a pretty little campsite. It's not very big. There's enough room for the Jeep and like maybe one small tent. And even then, like I wouldn't want to light the fire this close to my Jeep or to a tent. But that said, that is the Foss River you can see running off to the side there. Anyway, that's the Foss River right there. It is normally a very fishable river. That being said, right now you've got a lot of spring runoff still coming down. So it's about twice as deep as it normally is. And as you can probably barely make out in the video, it is whitewater right here. Most of this, like right offshore, may be varying from 4 to 10 feet deep, depending on pockets. But that water is below freezing, literally below freezing. And it's moving. It will numb you, like literally put your leg in it and you can't feel your foot after a couple of minutes. And that makes for some really deadly water, because once you get cold, there ain't much you can do about it and it becomes difficult to fight back, and no fighting back against a current this swift. So that being said, I am going to pull trout out of it because I is not afraid. Now, actually I am always a little afraid of the rivers I fish. I hate big water. I don't like getting down on the big rivers close to the city. I don't like wading out into those sluggish streams. It's just boring. I love hard fighting, fast little mountain fish. And I like to pull them out of whitewater because it's just exciting. But I've gotten really good at it. You know, I know what not to do and what I can do. And this is actually one of the tamer rivers that I fish in. Definitely going to pull some fish out of there because I don't think I've never not pulled fish out of here. And then, let's see, in the morning, I guess I should say, for now, we're settled in. It's about 7 o'clock, and by we, I mean me and the Jeep. In the morning, I'm not quite sure what I'm doing. I got a couple of calls, but I have reception out to the highway, and I can pretty much go anywhere I want from here. Depending on the weather, I may actually head east. I've been contemplating this route, but it's going to require really good timing considering I'm technically at work. But I'm thinking if I cruise over, I can turn around Pasayten and cut through the mountains on this little road I've never taken that will take me all the way over to Chelan, and from Chelan back over into Cleellum, and then back over Snoqualmie Pass. It's like a 160-mile loop, I think, from my house up and around to do the whole thing, which isn't a lot, but it is all very much mountain country once you get out of town. So it could be a lot of fun, but we'll just have to see. Who knows? If the fishing's really good, I might just stay here and fish and work and fish some more and work some more. If the fishing sucks or it gets super rainy, I may drive and work and go find a new river to fish in, like, the Wenatchee. Anyway, just jabbering at my camera like I do. Decided this time, instead of you looking at my ugly face, I'd just let you sit here and watch the river for a minute. Even though, staring across my dash isn't all that fun. Well, hello. Just figured I should give you a little bit of a view of the campsite for the night, since we're, me and the Jeep, being we, are all settled in and cozy, and it'll probably be dark in, about an hour with this overcast. Quite a few bugs, but there's enough drizzle that keeps coming and going to make them not quite so bad, so that's very helpful. It's a weird year. I don't know why, but it seems to me, at least, that there are more bugs out than I have ever seen. It's insane. They're swarming. The girls were so chewed up after our last camping trip, but hey, I'm pretty good at staying all covered up. The only thing they can get at's my face, and I tend to rub this big old bush of fur full of mosquito dough. Keep the hood on, and I'm usually okay. Right now we got a bunch of biting gnats, though, not so many mosquitoes. The rain seems to have chased the mosquitoes away, but now it's actually fairly clear out. I don't know, I'll give you a shot of the sky. It's kind of white and gray, which is the Washington sky. Sometimes you forget it's actually blue until you go somewhere else. So anyway, just show you around for a minute. I'm gonna flip the camera so I'm not in the shot. All right, let's kind of take a wander around, take a look. Right over here we got the Foss River. I talked about this river earlier, but love fishing down in that water. Little fire pit, little tent space over there, little spur road back out towards the main road. One of the things that's been driving me up the wall over the last camera's all facing the wrong way. I thought I was looking at me. Been driving me nuts over the last little bit is the fact that the mosquitoes just get all over up and in here. So I put in a rear curtain, and it does drop all the way down. It seals up on the sides, makes it so the bugs just flat out can't get in when I'm standing over here cooking on the table. So that was a good little thing. Then one of the things that I've discovered when I'm camped in more populated areas, where I might have a neighbor because I'm on a client camping trip, I'm actually using a campground. Is that the Jeep's locked? We also added some curtains up here. You can see where they run along the roll bars. They do go the full length back, but they leave me visibility out the sides. Pull these little Velcro tabs, and the curtain drops down and hangs all the way down, to the edge of the bed platform there. So it helps to seal all that up and black it out inside, and then the gray blanket I just hang from the roll bars up there where my medicine bag is, and it's like a solid little tent. Man, bugs are all getting in my bedroom. Yep, there's the Jeep. Of course, we got the bug screens up on the windows too. All in all, happy little camper. Talk to you in a bit. Well, happy mosquito infested, what is it, a Tuesday morning. Don't actually need these, it's not that bright out here, a little bit, but they're not enough to even make them darken, so I guess that means that we're good, right? Generally speaking, not a bad night. It was rather cozy. It did rain quite a bit, but in the Jeep I was all cozied up, watched some movies. That was about that. getting rolling this morning. Woke up at about 6:30 by construction vehicles that were running all over up and down the road. I don't know what they're doing. He's actually still out there, but you know, we'll see if it proves to be an issue or not, because I'm gonna leave. Anyway, just checking in, saying good morning. As you can tell, it's a little pretty, but also a little, I don't know what to call it, misty. And then all these little things you see flying all over there, what's really driving me crazy. We got a mix of biting gnats and mosquitoes out this morning. So once we get past all of that, life will be better. So we got breakfast cooking, flip the camera around. Nothing too special, just got my coffee going. Love this cool little coffee filter thing. It's like you fill it full of your coffee, you just pour it in there, let it steep in your cup, dump it out on the ground. I mean, it's coffee grounds. It's not like it's not biodegradable, right? Water for the coffee, of course. Then we got us a couple of breakfast burritos heating up. Num num num. So, gonna just finish up with this, and then when we get all done, I'll skedaddle. Alright, so I guess here comes our next segment. We should be just about ready to turn on to a highway I've never actually wandered. So Highway 97, we're cutting across through the heart of the Cascades from Leavenworth-ish area over to Cle Elum. Sorry, I got distracted by a car in front of me. So anyway, it should be an interesting little drive. Just thought I'd film a little clip. It's nice, beautiful blue skies over here. I'm like ready to shed a layer or two. But yeah, I'll flip the camera around and let you see the journey begin. Welcome to the Teeneway Valley. I actually missed the prairies that run out along here, but generally speaking, it's kind of this open area right in the middle of the Cascades, and a little bit of a kind of farm ranch community. There's not a lot of open land, so it means there's not a lot of infrastructure, but it's still a very pretty area and lots of amazing camping opportunities up in these mountains. I'm kind of blown away by all the options that are popping up on my GPS. But we're going to keep pushing through. I'm not very far from Cle Elum, and I think Cle Elum's just going to be a better place to set up shop for the night, so I can do my afternoon work and phone calls and update reports and all that good shit before I make myself something to eat. So, yep, just take some pictures as we're coming through the Teeneway. Well, welcome to the town of Roslyn, Washington. You know this town. Everybody, you know, that was around during the 90s TV era knows this town because of a TV show called Northern Exposure. I'm sure you remember it. Dad used to like watching it. It was an amusing little show, but it was supposedly in Alaska. The reality is it was filmed right here in Roslyn. I'm gonna let the camera run for a minute. I'll probably edit this back down, but up here and around the corner there's even the bar where most of the scenes of that show were taking place. It's just kind of a cool little area. It's got some good four-wheeling trails, some good reception up above here. So I'm going to do a mild wheeling trail into a remote campsite and be able to work, I think. So yeah, welcome to Roslyn. Alright, so this strip right here was sort of the main town strip in that TV show. Now, they're pretty selective on what they actually filmed so that there wouldn't be a whole lot of identifiers to show where it was at. But if you're familiar with the show and you kind of look around, it all just makes sense. It all fits. That, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the video off and make some tracks. It's been probably about 12 years since I've been up here. This is off to the side, you can see Lake Clealum out there. We're just rolling back up into what they call the Salmonless Sock drainage. Kind of spotty whether I'm going to have reception or not, or if I'm going to have to run back into town. I just lost it, but it keeps coming and going. And there's homes all over up on these hillsides that didn't used to be here, so I'm assuming that there must be something that allows them to have phone service, so I just need to get up in elevation a little bit. We'll see. I see a lot of snow actually in places on those side hills, so we're not going to be able to climb too high. But we'll find something. You know, it's really interesting how much an area can change in a little over a decade. Like, I can't remember exactly the last time I was over here, but I did a bunch of four-wheeling and camping over here about 15 years ago. And for the next few years after that, I would come over maybe once a year and just take one of the easier wheeling trails up to like a really awesome campsite. A lot of times I did that all by myself, but anyway, got a story that popped into my head there of like melting the 4x4 wiring in my Explorer and having to get back out of there in like two-wheel drive. Whoa, that was interesting. Anyway, point is it's like this area is not that far from Seattle proper, not the north end where we live, you know, Linwood, Everett, but like downtown Seattle is about, once you get down to the highway, about 60, 70 miles across the mountains. And so this whole area, it turned into cabins. Like, all the trails have now been closed, except to horse and hiking, and I mean the 4x4 trails. A lot of the roads aren't there. The campsites aren't there. Instead, what you find is private property and cabins. And when I say cabins, I don't mean your average, like, backwoods shanty cabin, you know. I mean, like, this massive, crazy, insane cabin thing. Like, probably cost them $3 million to build the stupid cabin. Like, they're nuts. They're like probably 10 rooms, room to park like 12 RVs on the grounds. They're all cleared and groomed. It doesn't even feel like you're in the forest anymore. Utterly, utterly insane. Well, I think I found where we're going to spend Wednesday night. I'm up above Lake Clealum. I went back up into the same area, but I decided to cross over the river and go up on the backside of the lake. There's a lot of people back up in here, but I found a little rustic site all off on its own. It's quite nice. And so it's about 5 o'clock. I'm just going to go ahead and start kind of cleaning up the Jeep a little bit from running around, get the garbage out, get my bed made, all that good stuff. Sorry, I heard people. So anyway, let me flip the camera around. I'll show you around a little bit, and then I'll get to work. Looks like this is our campsite. Somebody just left because that fire is still a-smoldering. Must be a mountain stream out here somewhere. I've been listening to water since I pulled in, but I have no idea where it's at. It's kind of actually fun to be in a place I'm not super familiar with. What shall we find? There we go. I knew I could hear water. Nice little lake waterfall series. Little one. And I gotta say, coming to the east side, that was a pretty good idea, Bryce. You see, it's still drizzly because there's still this little tiny bit of mist that makes it over the mountains, but not much. If I'd gone a little further east, I wouldn't get any of that, but instead I'm just over the cusp of the mountains, so I'm getting a little bit, but not a lot. It's one thing about running up and down the coast. If you stay just east of the coastal mountains, no matter what state it is, it's just a little bit drier. And here's the real beauty. No mosquitoes, no bugs. Look at the film. How many days of videos have you seen nothing but swarming little white specks to sometimes bird-sized mosquitoes flying around somewhere in the frame? Right now, nothing. It's awesome. Anyway, it's about 8 o'clock now. Be starting to get dark soon. Of course, there's still good light reflecting, but you know, it's also, I'm pretty far north and it's not long after the solstice, so it'll be light for a while. But I am thinking about eating me, I don't know what, probably just a sandwich. I got a sandwich in the cooler that I think I'm just going to eat. And then I'm probably going to go around taking care of like business and get ready for bed. Of course, I won't go to bed. I'll lay there and watch movies for 2 hours. But hey, that's, what else is there to do? I'm all alone. I've explored everything within a like half mile to a mile of camp in all directions. Yep, that's what we'll do. Don't know for sure what I'm going to do in the morning. Depends when I actually get rolling, once I'm caffeinated. I might wander on up the end of this road just to see what's up there, but then again, judging on the weather currently, unless it clears off overnight, it's going to be really foggy, and so I'm not going to be able to see anything anyway. And you know, you get up towards the top of the Cascades, it doesn't matter which side of the mountains you're on, you're at the top of the Cascades. And so it's heavily fogged in, like cloud forest, like rainforest type shit. And you can't see anything except 20 feet in front of you. So if that's the case, I'll go ahead and wander back out. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. I have options. have like 5 routes that I could use to get home that are all like less than 100 miles. Well, less than 150 miles. We'll figure it out tomorrow. All I know is I have to be on a call at 10. I have to be on a call at 11. I have a gap in my schedule where normally I would be updating reports, working on any projects any of the EDs have me like doing. But I can't really do all of that stuff until I can get good reception. I do have my laptop in the Jeep. And so I think I'll probably drop down, do my calls in the morning, jack into McDonald's or Starbucks Wi-Fi, update all of my reports and all that type of stuff that needs to be done. And then I'm going to either jet further east or further south and then back home, or I'm just going to cut across the mountains and go play in very known areas that I just haven't been in a couple of years along the Green River watershed as I work my way back to Seattle. Intent of hitting Seattle, sometime in the evening. I've of course got an afternoon series of calls that starts at 2:30, so it's not like I have a very big gap to go explore, but I'll just kind of see where it finds us, and I can work from damn near anywhere as long as I have good reception and a notepad handy and damn good memory, which for some reason I do for certain things, but not others. Well, good morning. It is Thursday morning, and I am still up at higher elevation. It's only about 8, so I don't really need to get down to reception quite yet. Like I said, I do have a 10 o'clock call, but I am not very far out of cell coverage area. I have to know what's up at the end of this road I was camped off of. One thing I decided I utterly hate about this Cle Elum area is, my God, there's a lot of ruts in these roads. Like, it's just ridiculous and insane how rutted and washboardy it is. It sucks. I mean, you look at it and it looks like this smooth road in front of me with smooth sailing, woohoo, and then you get going and it's like, here, case in point. Doesn't that look like fun? Sure, it's killing me, man. Alright, let's flip the camera, give you a little bit of scenery, see where we go. Might be running out of road. Doesn't look bad on camera, but it's getting kind of gnarly. It's a long ways down. I'm hoping that we can make it on up here a little bit further so I can get a decent spot to turn around. How close we are to the tops of the mountains, but I have snow right around the corner, and so this is a rough, narrow, sidling road. Snow's not the thing we want to be dealing with on this one. There, I said I'd give you some shots of the lake as we started coming back down. We're down quite a ways, but this was the first place I got a really good, clean shot of it. So that is Lake Cle Elum down there. What's up, girl? You don't care one bit that I'm standing here, do you? You're like, nope, I'm just gonna stand here and eat. All right, well, have a good day, sis. That's 4 deer on this road. Well, here is where I think I will be signing off on this particular adventure. I am wandering back into civilization right now, as you'll see once I get around to flipping the camera so you can see what I see. But pretty much done. I did do quite a bit of stuff I didn't film. Ran around on Tinkham Road, basically looking for good campsites with reception. Went up along the side of Lake Catchess, looking for the same. I did discover a route back into a really cool lake that you can get all the way around. It's an alpine lake. Didn't go all the way up to it. I just kind of checked the route, and it was doable. It didn't require 4-wheel drive, but it definitely requires large tires and good clearance. So maybe I'll run back up there and check that out in a little more depth on another trip. Now that I know I've got reception all along the bottom there in Tinkham, I can always set up base there and run and play in the mountains and, work from camp. So, yeah, we are now approaching, I don't know where we are. We're coming into the mess that is the overgrown pieces of Seattle, East Side as they call it these days. So here's your closing video clip, and I'll talk to you on the next one.